Welcome back, everyone. Keep the noise down on your way in. We're going to keep it nice and safe today. If ever there was a year that we needed the safe space, that'd be a good idea, that, having a safe space. Wonder if anyone's had that before. Well, it's all downhill from here. Thank you, Lisa. We love and appreciate you, Kev. Wow, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you because you help me maintain some level of sanity, or hey, perhaps shared insanity. It's absolutely fantastic. Either way, I'm glad to be here. I've got some news for us to look at. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a laugh. It's going to be chilled. There's going to be coffee breaks. There's going to be PPP breaks. And I hope there'll be a couple of giggles along the way. So if you are looking for something serious, probably not the stream for you. It's fun, laughs, and shaking our head at 2020 around here. I'll be with you in just a moment. Get ready, get set. We're about to go real live. Jazz hands. Yes, jazz hands. The safe space rules are in effect from this point forward. Yes, and our safe space, it's not your typical safe space. It's the most abnormal, paranormal safe space that isn't safe in the whole dang universe. Yes, indeedy. But how are you all doing? I am looking even hairier than ever. And look at this. I'm starting to see a whole too much lot of head coming through my hair. But we're on countdown. We are 9 days away from this monstrosity, this animal that's growing on top of my head, from it getting trimmed. Not that I'm counting the days or anything like that. And in fact, I have even got a selection of hats for throughout the show. It depends how I'm feeling. You know, some days I'm Kev, other days I'm Dave. So there's a hat for all occasions here. Yes, Dave is going to be becoming a more prominent part of the stream. But before we go anywhere and before we take a look at some of the absurdity that's going on out there, it is 2020 after all, right? Let me go into the chat room, shout out a few of you people in there. And it's a really cool day because we've had a couple of lurkers coming out of the shadows. They are in the chat room. That makes my day. It's good to meet you all. It's always nice to see new names in here. And always, even when the chat room's flying away like it does, bear in mind, folks, there's a few people out there, myself included, when they go to streams, they don't really participate in the chat. It's not for everyone, and I get that. But I want those people out there that do lurk to know that you may not obviously get the shout out that some people do get, but you're as equally appreciated around here as anyone. So then, let me get in there and exactly just be happy. Welcome to Chaos. Yes, indeed. So then we have got Lee in there, and Lee, Veltman in the chat room. Please go and check him out. He's doing a show with John Brisson. John has a channel called We've Read the Documents, but there's also a channel called The John and Lee Show. And tonight they've got a premiere, I believe, and an interview. I may be wrong, but Lee, please feel free to drop any links for that into the chat room. I'm going to give you a wrench so you can do that. I urge everyone to check out what Lee and John are doing, some of the people they bring on to interview. Now, I'm warning you up front, it's not going to be the sensational, dramatastic end of the truther community. But we try and stay clear of that. And if you want to get a deeper knowledge of the inner workings of the conspiratorial industrial complex, then Lee Veltman is your man. And Lee, one day soon, off air, wouldn't mind hanging with you, chatting with you, getting another download from you, but only when you've got time, brother. So yeah, please check out Lee on his show later on today. So who else we got in there? We've got Billy Joe. Big shout out to you. And you're correct, and John hasn't made the show link yet. No problem, Lee. No problem. We've got Billy Joe. Big shout out to you. Little Glob, our little resident psychic medium out there. Good to see you. We've got Cassie. We had somebody called Mary I seen earlier on. Stavros is in there. Paul Nichol from Scotland. Oh, I hate finding out we've got viewers from Scotland. Not anything against you, Paul. I just like being totally anonymous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it gets a bit more realer when you've got people in the same kind of country, maybe the same city listening to you. But big shout out to you, brother. If you're Scottish, you must be looking at the world right now with the same kind of screwed up face that I am, I would imagine, right? So we've also got Leslie in there. Who else we got? Let's get some music on. We've got Jackie. I'm enjoying Warrior None on your recommendation. I really enjoyed that show. A little bit cheesy, a little bit tacky at times. Probably not aimed for maybe the middle-aged man. But a good bit of science fiction in there. A good storyline. And see, I'm not that toxic that I won't watch women as the main starring roles, you know? There's a kind of misheld conception about me that I'm so toxic I can't deal with today's current world. It's not true. It's not true. And of course we'll be touching on some of that in just a moment. But Warrior None, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Lisa Crazy Donald. What a brilliant name. Absolutely fantastic to see you. Manarus, Gemini. I think I've seen that name before, but not much. Justin Goodearth. Mary Brim. There it is. We've also got Andrew in there. Big love to you, brother. In an absolutely 110% bromance kind of way, as you probably know. But folks, I'll come back into the chat room before we go today. Not so much of a rush. 2 hours we've got until the main show starts. And I've got plenty for us to go over. And yeah, just when you thought 2020 couldn't get more bizarre, I could probably do a stream with that title every day, right? I'm 44 next week. What a thought. But I can hand on heart say to you, and I would imagine most of you out there, maybe not all, but most of you would have to agree that 2020 has been just the most insane year ever. So much has been crammed in to the first half of the year that goodness only knows what's still to come. And every day when you wake up now, it's something new. But one thing that's really gathered pace in 2020, it's nothing new, but it's been festering in the background. It's reared its head from time to time. And it's this thing they call the cancel culture. You know, cancel this, cancel that. And what it basically is a bunch of spoiled people who absolutely want to get rid of anything that doesn't conform to what they think is right. And that there, folks, is a very, very dangerous situation and a very slippery slope indeed. And of course, you've got these celebrities out there that have been very vocal, very instrumental in drumming up this whole cancel culture. To the point where the people that were the darlings of the cult have now become the targets. And in what has to be the most hypocritical move ever, 152 people, led by J.K. Rowling, no less. Yeah, that darling of the left. Yeah, she's now come out and said we need to cancel the cancel culture. And again, for me, this just takes the absurdity to kind of idiocracy levels. That J.K. Rowling and a bunch of other people who helped to create this craziness that we live in are now absolutely, their little sphincters are going like that because now they're in the crosshairs of these same crazies that are going about cancelling everything. And where does it end, folks? Where does it end? I mean, we've already lost so many words due to political correctness that even George Orwell must be laughing on the other side. And its programs get cancelled, movies disappear from your hard drive, this one gets sacked, that one gets sacked, and they go back years and they look for the most innocuous and inoffensive things, really, to get triggered over. Me, I try not to get involved in it. I think sometimes the fact that that side of the argument, the people that do want to cancel things, it's so amplified artificially on social media that it can be easy to get drawn into that and become divided, take a side. But that's the trap we must never fall into, right? Taking sides, being divided. Because what does that lead to? Division leads to being conquered. I know it sounds a bit of a stretch going from cancel culture to divide and conquer, but it's all part of the same game. It's all part of the changing world that we're in. In 2020, the foot has gone down. They've dropped the hammer big time. But I think they might have gone too far. I think they have underestimated the wrath of one person and one person alone. Do you know who that person is? Do you?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Certainly ain't that one. No. Do you know who it is?
How dare you?
No, it ain't her either. No, they have gone and they have probably, I say probably because I haven't checked in yet, but I would imagine old Pearlie Turnbull, my mother, yes, she today, I would imagine, is unable to even speak. She'll be incandescent with rage. There'll be steam coming out of her ears. Why? What has the world done to offend my mum? Well, they've only gone and started messing about with Scrabble. Now that there is the line in the sand. I haven't spoken to her yet, but I can guarantee you that this will be too far for old Pearlie. She'll be having absolutely none of this. And this headline here kind of says it all, really, for the times that we live in. The Scrabble community. I didn't even know that there was a community. I should have known there would be like a guild of Scrabble players. Do you think that's what they're called? The Guild of the Seven. Since it's 7 letters. The Guild of the Tiles. Maybe the Guild of the Board. Maybe I won't be able to use half these words soon anyway. Maybe a guild will be deemed offensive. I don't know. Somebody out there is bound to hate the word, and if they hate that word, well, it's got to go, right? The heck with common sense. Can we say common sense? Is common offensive to anyone that isn't common? You see, it all gets a bit kind of jumbled up, like a Scrabble board. And first they came for the trade unionists, and nobody spoke up for them. Then they came for the Texans. You know him, the wild man. Yep, that guy. Him and his tangy tangerine. They came for him. All right. And then they tried to come for me over Ancient Aliens. And then they came for the Scrabble players. And there was nobody left to talk up for the Scrabble players because they'd all come for us already. Okay, maybe I'm taking it a little bit too far. But it's ridiculous. You've got to be able to laugh at this, right? And I can guarantee you, in the daily joust, that intellectual sparring that my mother and I take part in daily, is very competitive. I know for a fact that any of the words that are now deemed offensive, my old dear's going to go out of her way to play them. And guess what? So am I. And guess what? This is called like the Streisand effect. Not that there's billions of people around the world going to become radicalized Scrabble players and playing offensive words everywhere. I'm not saying this will change the world, but either does barring words like wrinklies. I'm 44 years old. I can see the crow's feet coming. I'm soon going to be a wrinkly. That's okay. That's okay. I find that quite funny. There's already parts of my body that are extremely wrinkly. It's cool. I don't take offense. But let's get in here. Let's see what it's saying about this before I get overly triggered by this. Would I get triggered? Never. Racial slurs could be banned as playable moves in official Scrabble competitions amid anti-racism protests. Now, offensive words including the N-word, insults against the elderly, such as wrinklies. Now, I want to point out that wrinklies, there's a bit of a problem here. And this is where it becomes ludicrous, okay? Wrinklies is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-letter word. Now, granted, you can take advantage of other words that are on the board. I would hazard a guess that the word wrinklies has been played a grand total of never in the game of Scrabble. And even if somebody did use that highly offensive word, wrinkly, or dare they go for the plural, wrinklies, not only would nobody get hurt, but also it'd be a hell of a score. It'd be a hell of a score. It would. So we're getting rid of that. We're getting wrinklies and derogatory phrases used to attack the LGBT community can still be used to score points in the popular game, which sees opponents place letter tiles onto the board in order to spell out words. It's a game. These words are not going to end all of the perceived problems in the world, folks. I would love to think that getting rid of a couple of words here, a couple of books there, maybe the odd film, maybe that if it had any hope of actually changing anything, maybe, just maybe, you'd be able to get me a little bit more convinced and into it. But this is ridiculous. This isn't about helping anyone or saving anyone's feelings. This is social engineering on a mass scale, not just Scrabble. 2020, isn't it? When you step back and you take all the individual crazy bits of madness that have been happening, you can start to see how there are bigger games afoot. Bigger cogs are spinning in the machine. And us, we just go along with it, right? Me, I tend to sit back, observe it, laugh at it, try and maintain a level of sanity, but it's hard. It's really hard. Especially when 2020 isn't just throwing things like this at us. Because earlier in the year, do you remember we talked about the crazy Hornets? Remember them? Those 187 Hornets? Yeah, you can't say the M word. I'll probably get kicked off of here. You know? And then they came for Kev. But yeah, those Hornets. Well, now get this. And I want to point out that this article that we're about to go to next is very, very, very racist. And in fact, this story might need to go. Because the UK faces bee-killing Asian hornet invasion unless drastic action is taken. And I know exactly what kind of drastic action will be taken. Will they go out there trying to eradicate these crazy kind of hornets that are invading us from a part of the world. No, no. What they'll do is they'll probably go after anyone who names them Asian hornets. Why? Because it's offensive, right? We can't discriminate against them just because of their geographical origin. You crazy? The Daily Mirror, you need to get with the times. You need to get woke, my friends. Can we all have a jazz hands? Just until the Daily Mirror, winds back their systematic racism that they're showing here. They've had it in for hornets for a long, long time, this lot. Yes, they have. So, joking aside, though, we've had the plagues, the locusts, we've had those other, really, really psychopathic kind of hornets that hit America. Didn't hear anything more about them. What happened to them? Were they a Mandela hornet? Were they? I don't know. Or did they morph? Are we now on a new timeline where they didn't happen anymore, but now they come from Asia? You see these multiple worlds, they're the same, but slightly different. So, in other worlds, they're probably doing away with Cluedo and other good board games like that, because you can't discriminate against the butler in the dining room with an Asian hornet. I'm just saying. So the UK needs to take drastic action to prevent an invasion. That's quite rhymey, that. An invasion of killer Asian hornets. Yes. So an expert has warned. How do you become an expert? Who grows up thinking, I want to know everything, and I mean everything there is to know about hornets? Hey, if that's your shtick, if that's your bag, Dave in the corner, he's shouting to me, leave that guy alone. We need an expert in hornets, or else we wouldn't know about this next threat that's coming our way. 2020 just keeps on coming, right? So they're described as, very scientific term here, bigger wasps. The hornets have smuggled their way to Britain from France, with 9 nests identified and destroyed since 2016, and are already plaguing several Channel Islands. Well, since they smuggled themselves into Britain, I think we should just give Tommy Robinson a phone call, and he'll probably take on this plight. So Robert Moon became the first Brit to become qualified pest controller in the country. Hats off. Big round of... Whoa, sorry. If I offended anyone by clapping there, I take it all back. I will lash myself after the stream. But yeah... Good on you, Mr. Moon. We're off to Button Moon. Anyone remember Button Moon? That was an ace show. But only in Britain, right? This is how crazy we are in Britain. Everything is health and safety. Everything's like bonkers bureaucracy. We've got a government webpage where you can go and fill out a form about Asian hornets. Yes. Look, told you that, British government. They still think they're an empire ruling over people. They need to go. Why don't we see anyone try to cancel governments? Saying. So, annual confirmed sightings of the hornets. So, this here, you've got, you can go back in time. The current situation. So, remember, bear in mind, we've got this big scary thing here. UK faces bee-killing hornet invasion. But meanwhile, over at the Ministry of Truth, they tell us that there have been no confirmed sightings of any Asian hornets in the UK in 2020. That's because none of us have been outside. Now, this page will be updated with details of any confirmed sightings. Because without that, none of us would be able to sleep in the UK tonight, right? I'm so glad they've got our back. I really am. So, yes. More crazy hornets coming our way in 2020. But do you think that's all that's coming our way? Do you think I would even bother to go live if that was all that was coming our way? Of course not. Of course not. But I know all of you people out there, we've been going for, 30 minutes now? Maybe some of you are very desperate to get a little drink of coffee. A small libation, perhaps. Maybe even some PPP. I've got your back. I'll be back in about 1 minute, and I'm going to show you what else is going down in 2020. Where's my chat gone? I've lost my chat. Simple rule when it comes to insects. If it's got more legs than me, we've got a problem. Now, you know, I could switch off the stream right now because in reality, I hate to call this a job, but let's say this is a job, right? And I come on here with really one thing in mind. I used to be about the doom, the gloom, and all that crazy stuff going on, but that's all still out there. We all still look at that. I try my hardest, and I like to think that by the time we leave here, although we've done nothing serious, we haven't solved any of the world's problems, just making somebody smile, that makes my day. So Amanda, she says, thanks guys, I was miserable today, but 5 minutes on here and you all cheered me up. That's not just about me, that's about the chat room as well. So, yeah, give yourselves a big pat on the back. And look at those handsome, gorgeous emojis up there. You can be up there. Just get your emoji over to Discord or to me on Facebook, and you too can be in the KBS Rogues Gallery. There we go. And yeah, I'm really enjoying having the streaming these days. Some months, you know, it's a bit of a slog. You can't really get into the vibe. Some days are better than others. But I don't know, just recently things have been pretty cool. Had a good long chat with my good friend Nancy last night as well. And yeah, again, whether we're normal or we share the same insanity, it's cool. So I know I'm not alone. And I love hanging out with all of you people here. And on the stream here on this channel, we keep it fun, we keep it woo. It's the abnormal, paranormal. It's Dave Baker in the background. Some days it's Kev. We've got Brian, the AI. But I like to throw in some fun as well from time to time, right? Bit of weirdness. And this is like, I suppose you could say 2020. This fits in. We're going to get back to the kind of 2020 weirdness for this week in a moment. I'm going to show you something different first, right? I'm going to show you something that you're going to think, well, what the heck's this all about? Why is Kev like doing this? Check this out, okay? Just go with me on this one, right? Check this out. Right, you got that. You got that dude there. You got, whoa, wow, wee wah there. You got that handsome looking dude there. Do you know what all of these people have in common? Do you? Absolutely none of the people that you've just looked at here have ever existed. None of them. That's an AI that's generating people's faces right now. Uh-huh. Yep. Every single face you've seen, down here in the bottom corner, there's a message comes with it. Imagined by a GAN, a generative adversarial network. Uh-huh. Yep. Not making it up. An online propaganda campaign used AI-generated headshots to create fake journalists. Not going to get into this story in depth, but I found this highly weird. And you see a selection of the faces here, but I think I've found something that must be wrong in the data set. When you look at most of these people, do you notice something about their faces? About the faces? Do you notice one thing that they kind of have in common? Do you? No? I'm obviously not going to wait for you to catch up on the stream. I'm going to answer it for you. Do you notice how their eyes are different? One eye is always different from the other. This one here looks like it's slightly a lazy eye. This one here looks like it's a little bit higher up and lifted, and then we've got a difference down here. See how that one's not very symmetrical? Same kind of thing here, and quite more obvious, profound one there. Come over here. Of course, now when I do it, the eyes are going to be fine, right? Yeah, they're going to be fine now. Fine-ish. Well, they've used a bit of Miley Cyrus in that. No, there's still something wrong with the eyes. Now, I'm not suggesting we all go about looking at people online, staring at the screen like a millimetre from their face. Show me his eyes, right? But, I don't know. Oh, I've just spoilt my headline for the next one. Dang you, Kev. So it says here, a network of fictional journalists. And they call me fake news. Analysts and political consultants has been used to place opinion pieces favourable to certain parts of the world in a range of media outlets. And of course, it's the Gulf states. An investigation from the Daily Beast has revealed at least 19 fake personas were used to author op-eds published in dozens of mainly conservative publications, with AI-generated headshots of would-be authors used to trick targets into believing the writers were real. So yeah, go and check that out. I just found that really interesting today. Just a guy sent me that. Comes from The Verge. Interesting article. And it's got a link, like I say, to this website. And I'm not doxing anyone, folks. I'm not like sharing anyone's like personal image, you know? They're not real. How much do you want to bet the AI flags me? It's going to flag me, and it's showing people's pictures online without their permission. Now, there you go. There's the eye again. There's something about the eyes. The AI can't get the eyes. What are the eyes? The window to the soul. See? Ooga booga. Told you it was all bad. I'm not joking. But just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any more bizarre. Yes, exactly, Dr. Respect. What is real anymore? And that there, folks, is why I tend now just to observe what's going on in the world, and I don't try to get too invested in any of it. It seems like there's something out there that's determined to put people into groups or pigeonholes, or more apt to say sides right now. And anytime you take a side in anything, we go back to the start of the show, sides divide. But would we be surprised to find out that this here, the Earth's poles are shifting 10 times faster than expected? Well, bear in mind that if it's shifting 10 times faster than expected, perhaps it's the model that you're adhering to that may be wrong. I mean, the planet and the poles are only doing what they do, and you seem to find this anomalous. Why? Perhaps you need to shift the data. Just saying. So which came first, the chicken or the egg? Even simple questions are hard to answer these days. Isn't that a fact? Oh, isn't that a fact? Here's a tougher one, courtesy of the strange year. We're barely halfway through. Did 2020 cause the Earth's magnetic poles to shift 10 times faster than experts were predicting? Or is it the shifting of the poles causing the problems of 2020? Whichever it is, it's probably not good. And want to go back to the chicken and the egg and try again? I would rather just go back to the 80s. You see how I've got this kind of retro thing going on here? You've obviously picked up on that, right? It is. It's a nostalgic thing. Times were simpler back then. Okay, computer games and things weren't as cool and stuff like that, but I could live with my ZX81 and maybe the Mega Drive. Just give us the Mega Drive back. That'll do us. Done us fine back then when it came out. So yeah, I would like to go back to a far simpler time. Even just the 80s would be good. So we have incomplete knowledge of our magnetic field. So they admit they've got incomplete knowledge. So they're building a model out of data that they're admitting in the first line of talking. It's kind of bunk. It's not much of a model, really, is it? When it's kind of half-assed. Their own kind of, they said it themselves. So we've incomplete knowledge of our magnetic field before 400 years ago. And since these rapid changes represent some of the more extreme behaviour of the liquid core, they could give important information about the behaviour of Earth's deep interior. So in a press release from Leeds University, Dr. Chris Davies, an associate professor from the School of Environment or Earth and Environment, and Professor Catherine Constable from the Scripps Institute of Oceanography in UC San Diego, where our friend Dr. Brian Keating, he's there as well, and that's in California, explain that the technique they used in their new study, published this week in Nature Communications, to both fill in the gaps of the last 400 years and attempt to figure out what's been going on with the Earth's magnetic field over the past 100,000 years. So unlike past researchers, they had the benefit of new historical data on time variations in the Earth's magnetic field and the most sophisticated software ever for modelling the planet's field generation process. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole article. I urge you all to go and check out everything that we look at on here, even though it's not uber serious stream. Again, never just take somebody's word for it, folks. I'm not here to kind of push any agenda, any narrative of my own, but many are. And even your most favourite people that you like to go and watch, if it's me, maybe it's the Wild Texan, Lee and John, anyone, always go through that process. Just look at it yourself. And it's like I said to Nano yesterday, it sounds really selfish, but in the end of the day, it's a fact that all of you out there, are the centres of your own universe. Now, I get it. Our universes, they orbit around our families and people we come into contact with, but it's what you make of what's going on in the world that's truly important. And when it comes to the whole pole shift, this is nothing new for 2020. In fact, I remember reading a headline about the Earth's poles shifting 10 times faster. Many times. We don't know what the Earth's poles do. We've got these models, we've got, like it says there, the historic data. But we're flying by the seat of our pants. We're clinging onto a rock going through space at about 40,000 kilometres. It might be a minute, an hour, I don't know what it is. It's fast. It's real fast, right? So am I saying run for the bunkers? What would be the point? If the Earth's shifting and there's something like that going on, probably no use to deep underground bases, right? Kind of waste of money, all that. And remember, this is a magnetic shift. It's not a crustal shift. Trustal shift, bad news. Magnetic shift, don't know. Never been here for that. We see how when the poles on the sun flip, you get multiple norths and multiple souths and all that spaghetti on the kind of maps we're used to seeing of the magnetic field. They all go haywire. And could it be? I'm not saying it is, but you have to wonder, right? We had the whole kind of things have picked up pace, have they not? Wouldn't you agree? Since the turn of the century, I would imagine. I don't know what's causing it. The poles are going mental. We're told the magnetic field is in flux. How much does that play into the craziness? With all of the agendas and all of the games that get played. I get that. I get that. But we sometimes need to think maybe a bit more cosmically. And I'm not going new agey. Not going new agey at all. But can that send people a bit kind of off kilter? Personally, I think it's more down to about a generation's worth of really bad schooling. But it's only bad schooling from our point of view. From the people that rule the world, it's been really effective schooling because people really aren't learning much anymore. And maybe that's adding to the kind of insanity that's going on. I have no idea. But something like this, you know, you'll probably see a lot of sensationalism around this one story, I would imagine, in the next coming days. Just keep an open mind on it. Interesting. Yeah. Time to panic? Probably not. Probably not. And I'll be getting Kevin's take on this later on when he comes on, because we know how he looks at the Earth, the Moon, the Sun, the cycles, all that kind of good stuff. And I was just listening to the Wild Texan before I came on air today. It's getting harder and harder to listen to him. But anyway, and he was pointing out, and I don't know if it's true or not, because I've not checked it yet, but was there some kind of crazy, big, notable planetary alignment on July the 4th? Was there? Like I say, I'm asking you out there. I don't know. I sometimes laugh and joke about Mercury retrograde. I think we're probably just coming out the end of that retrograde we were in. But yeah, all of these things, planetary alignments. I know people say Kev's gone all new agey. Nah, I'm just keeping an open mind as to what other factors could be playing into the year the world went absolutely upside down, bat crap crazy, and where we go from here. Nobody knows, right? So I'm going to get a little drink of my coffee before it gets too cold. I'm going to chill out in the chat room. We're going to keep it real. We're going to have some fun. I'm still kind of freaked out by this thing, to be honest with you. It's kind of weird. Again, one eye's not the same as the other. Sorry, AI. Imagine you went through this again. Lazy eye. There's something about the eyes. Again. Is it just me seeing that? Is it? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've got some kind of like apophenia going on right now. Dang, she's got like seashells growing out her head. The AI got that wrong. But yeah, wah. So there you go. I'll go and play some tunes. We'll get back to it in a moment, folks. Yeah, Aaron, they're all fake. Imagine it. Well, that wasn't a long drink of coffee, was it? Well, let's get that back on, shall we? Yeah, there we go. There you go. Not too long. See, I didn't leave you hanging around too long. I wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that. So, yeah, thanks for being here today. Big shout out to Pikmin, Rob, Aaron, Steve, Cassie, Little Glob, Justin, Mary, Just Be Happy, One Polly, Paul. That's the ones I can see on my screen right now, folks. That's who's there. Big shout out to all of you. Lewis as well. See you sneaking in there. Aaron, if you want to deliver some munchies to me, that would definitely be appreciated. Now then, what we're going to be doing with the channel. It's the boring bit, folks, so you can probably leave now. I won't take offence. I know everyone's easily offended. I won't cancel you. You're free. You can do what you like, you see. You don't get dictated to around here. We don't cancel you for having different opinions. In fact, we welcome people with different opinions even more than those that share the opinion of me. And there's not many people that shares every opinion I have, because I'm a little bit different, a little bit weird. I've got a really skewed way of looking at the world sometimes. Sometimes fun, sometimes dark. But it never looks normal, that's for sure. But we've obviously been doing a lot more work over on this channel in recent times because of what happened over on the main channel. And my good friend Max Egan got in touch with me yesterday. Unfortunately, they came for him, and he now has been cancelled. He's all the way over on BitChute. If you go to my Twitter feed, the link is on there. We've seen a lot of people come and go. How I am actually still here is pretty much, I don't know. With all the stories we've covered over all of the years, even I wake up some mornings looking through the cracks in my eyes and, oh no. Because there's no time limit on this insanity, folks.
Yo, hope y'all are having a great day. Good to see y'all. So smoke me if you goat and PPP. Don't forget brown chicken brown. Woo.
I think we're going to need to stop calling him Brian. Is that Dave? Could we call him Dave? Will he be Dave? Nah, Dave Baker wouldn't have an accent like that, would he? Woo. Maybe. But, yeah, so the fact we've even got the main channel still there is a bonus. The fact I'm able to do anything over here, and thanks to, like, Just Be Happy done there, we get the odd super chat coming in yesterday. Sid was very, very generous indeed. Hard to talk about that, quite humbling. There's other people in the background that help out as well, and without that, I wouldn't be able to do it. But over here, we're keeping it fun. We're keeping it woo. We're going to try to go as long as we can. But with 2020 the way it is, folks, the landscape, both in the real world, literally with statues coming down and everything else, and that of the digital world where we all come together like this, it is changing. And I just hope we've got this for as long as we can. I'm really glad we've got Discord as well, for just in case there comes a time when it gets harder and harder, even to have a little bit of fun like we do here. I try not to get political. I try not to get too controversial. I try to keep us right because, first and foremost, before I even had the radio show, I was a YouTuber. I got inspired by people like David Icke, Max Egan, Alex Jones, to pick up a camera and just say my piece. It took a while to build up the confidence to do that because you sometimes worry what other people are going to think. We often worry about other people's perception of us. But I found if you were honest, then people would resonate with that. And those that didn't, that's okay. They come, they go. Some people, they stay for a couple of months because I'll be talking about something they agree with. And maybe then something else will come up and they go away. And that's all right. You know, we're different here. We don't want to go around cancelling people just because they have different ideas, different opinions. But because we're doing so much on this channel here now, and we had all the memberships cancelled on the main one, I am in the process of activating memberships on this channel. You don't have to take part in that. I'll still be here doing this regardless. It's what I do. It's what I love. And that's why I hope to somehow maintain what we've got here on YouTube. I'm really blessed that I've got a very big platform where I can speak very freely and very openly 5 nights a week. And I can never thank the people over at Truth Frequency Radio enough for that. I know we got really into having the simulcasts, and we used to have such fun doing that. But at the same time, I'm also enjoying having the radio and the YouTube worlds kind of separated. This is where we can come, we can switch off. We all know what's going on in the world, folks. There's enough people on this same platform that are telling you. I'm not trying to purposely kind of ignore the bigger stuff going on in the world. I can talk about that on the main show. But over here, it's where we have fun. It's where we have woo. We've got the phone line, thanks to one of our viewers as well, that we haven't really taken advantage of yet. And we're going to get that up and running. And I just want to thank you all, really. It doesn't matter if any of you buy a membership or not, because I just want you to know I'm going to try and keep this here for us. Forget the content. If nothing else, look at the laugh that people have in the chat room. I mean, I can sit here and I can talk, and you can listen to me if you like, but the networking and the things that go on in the chat, that to me is as big as equal a part of this whole experience as everything. And I'll try and keep you away. I'll try and point out some of the crazier corners of the internet that maybe should be avoided along the way. I'll joust with the algorithm from time to time, not much. But all in all, I just want this to be somewhere that we can truly call our safe space. King in the chat room today over in Discord, he says, Kev, can we get back to having a safe space? I really need a safe space today. This is our safe space. It is. And I'll try and keep it here for us as long as we can. But I never thought I'd see the day when Max was cancelled off of here. And so many different channels disappearing left, right, and centre. And for all of the murkier, crappier parts of the conspiratorial industrial complex, I never call for any of them to be banned. You know, we laugh about me being triggered by certain letters and things, right? But you never hear from me like begging YouTube or begging Twitter to get rid of any of that. That's not what free speech is all about. In fact, free speech is there to protect the people you hate the most and the things that really rub you up the wrong way. We've got freedom of choice. I don't know where somebody switched a kind of switch in the world where I remember when you didn't like something, you tended not to do it. Or a type of movie you didn't like, you wouldn't spend money in the cinema to go and see that. You'd go and see something you like. You'd go and do something in your free time you enjoy doing. When did people end up getting up in the morning and looking for things to get rid of? To like cancel people, to get rid of their life's work, to cut off their means of making a living sometimes. What does that say about those people? I think it says more about them than the targets of their crazy cancellation wave that they're on. And when they come for me, there'll be nobody left to talk up anyway. But folks, I want to thank you all for being here. Like I say, I'm not going to blow smoke up your tuchus. I ain't going to tell you I've got all the big answers to any of your big questions. I'll explore the topics. We'll dip our toe in from multiple angles. I don't look at things from 360. We do 720 here. Because if you just look at it and go once round, you might miss something. So you need to go back again and look back. And it's weird, it's wonderful, it's the abnormal, paranormal. And I think that's why in the past month or so, we've gone from 50 people watching the pre-show stream up to 100. We're now getting up close to 4,550 subscribers. Let's try and get to 5,000 for Christmas. And while we're at it, don't forget to check out my good friend, Jason, First Paranormal. He is a little intrepid explorer tonight. Yeah, he's away out to an ancient fort with another YouTuber who explores some of these urban kind of places that are derelict, grown over, creepy as heck, okay? So please, please, please head on over to First Paranormal. Also, check out Algo Rhythm, 2 different words. Check for the channel, find him. He does good work there. Don't forget about John and Lee show I told you about earlier on. They'll take you deeper into some of the characters that maybe you go to on a daily basis for some of your news. It's always good to know as much as you can about what it is that you're looking at. And not only that, but some of the people who are presenting it to you. It's not as exciting and sensational as some of the other corners of YouTube, but if you are after truth, it's not always exciting. It's not always big Hollywood names either. Sometimes it's really mundane and almost quite boring. But that's what we're meant to be here for, right? Right? Well, that's what I'll try and keep giving you. So anyway, with all that said, I'm going to go get ready. Anne's going to be on her way home from work. I don't want a shoe print on my head by the time I come back tomorrow. So I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to play my crappy outro. And then I will see you all at 10 p.m. in the UK, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. That's 2 p.m. on the West Coast on your #1 network, Truth Frequency Radio. www.tfrlive.com.
Excuse me, it's man.
I said com, you absolute. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. And trust me, folks, if they ever come for the woo, oh, watch out. Remember, if you're new to the channel, it's awesome to have you here. Click subscribe, click the bell. I'm here most days, folks. If you want to chill out, if you want to come and just relax and definitely spend some time with open-minded adult people, this is the place to be.